Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Sue Heaton, and with me today is our very famous, very popular, very much loved Mayor Johnson. Thanks for joining us again today on the program. And whenever you're with us, we know there's lots of news to talk about.
Well, first off, thank you for the accolade.
Well,
You're
yes.
more than generous. I appreciate that. But yeah, a lot going on in Oak Grove as always, and we're excited about things coming up.
Well, let's begin. As we're taping, now this is just the 1st of November, although the weather, boy, it is so
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And we've had such a beautiful, colorful fall.
I would say, I've told this to a lot of people, it's probably the most colorful and long-lasting fall
I think so.
I've ever seen in my life. I'm 62 years old, gonna be 63 soon. I've never seen it like this. And it's funny because I was reading in the paper and they said, we got rain at the exact right time during the summer that set us up for this kind of fall.
this kind of fall.
So it's not getting too much rain and too little, it's when you get the rain that counts.
Oh.
And so according to this one meteorologist, he said the
came-
rain came exactly right in the summer and we're getting the benefits of it this fall.
Well, are you like a lot of people I talk with, Mayor, that we do love living in the Midwest because we do enjoy all the seasons?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've had relatives in Arizona.
Yeah, that would
in
be
the past.
boring to have warm
Yeah.
weather all the
And
time.
I've had relatives down south. My mom's from the south, relatives down in Montgomery, Alabama. And their season, their great Christmas is if it's in the 60s. That cold. Down in Alabama, I go, wait a minute, that's not cold.
No,
we
we-
wear
we-
shorts
we-
and T-shirts that
right.
weather. But no, that's what's great about the Midwest.
Yeah.
We get great falls, great winters, springs, and summers. And what's nice is by the end of summer, you're looking forward to fall. By the end of fall now, I'm starting to look
loves-
forward to wintertime,
Yes.
Christmas. I mean, so you kind of like the change of seasons. You look forward to it, you enjoy it, then you're ready to move on.
And with all the seasons we have, it seems as though the village has so many different events to celebrate each season. So here we are looking forward now to when we leave this beautiful time of year to go into the Christmas season. And there's been a tradition here for how many years now with the
This
tree
will be
lighting?
our 25th year.
Oh, that's a big celebration.
Yeah.
So as I pulled up to the studio today, I saw they're out there stringing lights and the decorations are going up.
Yes, they are. And to our guys do some of it, and we hire a company to do. Most of the lights you see in the trees, the bushes, are done by a private company we hire. We bid it out and they do it. And then the bigger stuff, like the ornament you can walk through, and some of the other figurines that are lit.
Now
Our
that
guys
was
put that up.
moved from the park across the street,
Yes.
right?
The
Because of
Memorial
work
Park
that-
over it, it's going to be by the clock tower.
Yes.
And so you walk through the newly landscaped around clock
Yes,
towers. We fixed that problem we had there with the roots and the concrete and all that. It'll be over there. And one of the reasons we're doing that is we think it's going to be more visible. A lot of people have said they really didn't notice it over in the Memorial Park. They didn't, get a chance to go through it and all that. We're thinking by the clock tower, it's going to be more visible.
Sure.
More people can park in the parking lot, get out, walk and see the tree, see all the other things, walk through the ornament now. So we think in the end it's going to be a better location for it.
That's always a beautiful drive when all the lights are on between the pavilion and the municipal building over
And the
here.
library.
The library participates. It's just very festive. So
It's come a long way, Sue. You may not remember, the first year we did this, we actually bought an artificial tree.
I don't
And-
remember artificial.
Yeah, we had an artificial
I always thought
tree.
it came from one of the residents' home.
No.
But not always?
No, our first year we did an artificial tree. We had a pretty windy day before Christmas, and the tree bent. So starting after that, we started getting real trees. And this year the Frank family is donating the tree
that's
to
who it
us.
is?
Yep, and it's very nice. It's a beautiful tree, full and nice. We go out and look at each one, and this one's going to be coming. So yeah, now we do a real tree each year, the big beautiful blue spruce a
Always,
lot of
yeah.
times, and we're very fortunate that residents want to. It's time for the tree to gotten either too big or it's time to move it out. We come cut it out, we bring it over here, and then we go back, take out the stump, we put dirt down, and we resod
Oh,
the area.
you really complete
So we
the
take,
job.
that's our thank you to them. Thank you for donating a tree, we do that. And the funny part on that, Sue, was when we started wanting to look fine trees, we actually started pricing it. Well, you can get those trees from Canada, but by the time they cut it down, they ship it from Canada. If it comes back in good shape after that much traveling, I mean, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. So we found it's more cost effective,
Yeah.
way more cost effective, to get our neighbors to donate them.
Yeah.
We'll restore it, and we're saving a lot of money for
And
the
a
taxpayers.
sense of pride for the
Yes.
owners to
Well,
see
they come on.
their
Yeah, they come
tree.
on stage. They bring their
Yeah, of
families with
course.
them. They help us flip the switch. They get first to see
Yeah,
Santa. They donate to the community, they get first chance, and it makes for a special thing because I've gotten letters from them. I've gotten pictures of their family by the tree smiling from ear to ear and saying, I can remember when that tree was about 4 inches tall, and now look at it.
That's a picture for their family photo album, to be sure. Now, in addition to the tree, how many years now have you had the concert?
We started that about 6 years ago. What we did is you know me, I'm always thinking of things. So at first, for the Millennium Celebration in 2000, that's the first year we did fireworks. And they were phenomenal, and that's why we do it every year now. People expect to see the fireworks. Then, about 5, 6 years ago, we started thinking we have such great crowds for the concert series in the summer. Maybe we can do something with the tree lighting. Not as big. We don't want to get 15, 20,000 people like we had with the Beach Boys out there. We thought just a few thousand, but somebody had a little extra spirit because we used to have the high school choirs do it. And then there was hard, sometimes one choir could make it, one couldn't, sometimes they both couldn't, sometimes, So we thought, why don't we do a concert? So like this year we're having New Colony 6 come.
Oh.
Our first year we did it, we had Lead the Wise,
Yeah.
and now we got New Colony 6. And again, they'll do a mixture of their hits, and then also the Christmas music, which everyone looks forward to. So so that starts everything opens at 4 p.m. We have hot chocolate, this year we have warm cider, not hard cider, but nice cider for everyone, and of course the cookies for everyone. And then at 4:30, New Colony 6 will come on stage. They'll do the little concert with their music and the holiday music.
That's going to be big.
Then 5:30 we do the usual Ready for Santa to Come.
It's just a very nice traditional feature in this community that I know I enjoy going there with my family and seeing it. And my son came in from out of town one year. We brought them over there. They loved it, and it's just a great place again to gather and see your neighbors and
it works out
enjoy.
Well because there's a family. I'm hoping they come again. They've been coming at least 15, 20 years. They're from St. Charles. And what they did was, I think they started coming with the fireworks. To see, that's something unique for a tree light. Not many people do that. And so what they do is they put a pot of chili on the stove and let it cook there in their crock pot, whatever they got it in. And then they come to our tree lighting, all the way from St. Charles. And then they go back afterwards and have the chili with the family. And when they first started, they came with their kids. Now they're coming with their grandkids.
They let you know about this
somewhere. Every time they come up.
It's
I'm there, I try to make sure the kids get up and keep the line moving because we do get a pretty long line for seeing Santa sometimes. A line that's sometimes been over an hour long, depending on if we have weather like today, it'd be an hour long. So we keep everything moving through nicely. But so so I meet all the people and they said something to me when I asked them by the weight and stuff. Hey, so what street do you live on? Oh, we're not from Elk Grove, Mayor. We're from St. Charles. And that was back when we had...
That must have set you back and think, people are coming that far to our community.
They do, though. They change, some of them work in Elk Grove, some have a business in Elk Grove, so they hear about it, they read in their newsletter, and they go, heck, fireworks, concert, Santa.
Free.
I can beat that. So that's how I've got, but this one family's come every year. Maybe it's 20 years now. Because when they first came up, we had the old little platform stage, not the big music stage, obviously.
Sure.
And now we got that. And like me, I got gray.
And
he's gotten gray. I've seen him. He doesn't have a head on.
That's kind of fun.
It's very nice, but it works well. So this year, it'll be like we've done before. So at 5:30, we thank New Colony 6. We invite the Frank family up with a tree. And then we thank you because so many people work. From the public works to the CERT people, to the police, fire department, Channel 6, filming, everything. So much effort goes into this. We thank everyone. And then what we do is we do our countdown. And our goal is that the lights show Santa the way to get here. Unfortunately, Santa's busy, so we do the countdown. Over 250,000, probably close to 300,000 lights go on to the Village Hall, the library, the pavilion. And boy, the parks, they do a phenomenal job decorating the pavilion, all that. So does the library. And then Santa, if he doesn't come, that's when Johnny Rockets helps us out. We do a fireworks display, which is basically about a 5-minute grand finale.
It's pretty long. Last year's was pretty long.
Yeah, he does a great job for us. And so we do that. And then usually that gets Santa right direction. And next thing you know, coming down off of Wellington, down our aisle, is Santa. Yeah. But this year...
Is there something new? There's been a lot of excitement in town lately.
Yes, there has.
I have to ask you, you just mentioned briefly that how busy your schedule is, and when do you find free time to just think out of the box and come up with these new ideas?
Well, staff
For
at the
our
village doesn't like me getting, do not like me getting free time.
Oh, because
when I get free time,
free time means
I think.
wheels are turning.
And when I think, I come with ideas.
How can we do more here?
From the Bahamas Bowl to everything
Right.
else. Well, as people, we'll probably talk a little more in a minute, but we are now sponsoring a race car in next year, July 2nd, Chicago's NASCAR race, road race. So my thought is, one of the things we got was, we actually have one of Brad Kozlowski's race cars here in town. We get to keep it for now, for at least a year and a half, and use it when we want to for help promote whatever we want. So my thought was to help Santa come in in style this year. We're going to have a squad car leading out, and then we're going to have the Makers Won It number 6 race car going next, and you'll hear that engine all the way down the street, and then Santa will be on the fire truck behind it. So the race car is going to lead them down. The race car is going to pull off. We got that little cutout in the drive aisle in front of the village hall. He'll pull up there, not Brad, but whoever someone driving. We'll pull up there. We'll have lights on it. Then Santa will go down by the stage for Santa to go up on the stage. So as I'm going to tell everyone, for the little ones, line up here to see Santa. For the big little ones, go over there and get your picture with the race car. Check it out. See what it's like. Look inside. See what the race car is like.
Wonder which line will be longer.
That's what we're betting on. Right now, the odds are the race car will be longer. But yeah, we want to make sure we get that out there for everyone to see up close, personal. They can touch it. They can put their head inside. They can touch the wheel. I mean, they'll be able to see all they want. We'll probably open the hood at times, let people see the engine inside.
That's reminded me of the time the Stanley Cup was in town. Everybody just wanted to touch it.
Yes,
You
to
know,
see it.
just to
Well,
have that moment.
they'll be able to touch this. We'll have floodlights on it, so they'll be able to see
Of
it.
course.
And-
Have you taken a ride in this vehicle?
Well, actually, Brad and his team brought it out here when we made the announcement, and they had us all, myself and 3 public works guys, were designated as drivers. First thing people understand is you gotta be able to drive stick shift.
Oh.
And I'm sure people below age 50 maybe never saw a stick shift. When I went to Elk Grove High School, we went through driver's ed, they gave you a choice. Do you want to be taught on automatic or do you want to be taught on stick shift? My
And
dad was
you
smart.
decided?
No, my dad decided.
Oh.
He goes, Craig, anyone can drive automatic. Back then the gear shift was on the wheel.
Sure.
Put in D and go. He goes, you learn how to drive stick shift. And so I learned, I didn't realize what happened was I went to college down in Chicago at Northeastern University. The car my dad got for me to use was stick shift. It was cheaper. So my dad was thinking ahead. As Craigie goes off to college, I want to get him a cheaper car to use in Chicago. So I had to learn to drive stick shift on the Kennedy Expressway in rush hour, shifting all the way.
Well, you're quite the skilled driver
So
then.
yeah, I have no problem. And it's like riding a bike. When
You
I got in
never
that
forget.
car, the stick shifting was no problem at all. So yeah, so I've been in it a few times. I've driven it a few times. We actually practiced over where the old Aldi was by the Home Depot.
Oh.
That whole side's wide open, so we blocked that off. Myself and the public works designees, we all practiced, so we knew how to drive it. I won't be driving that day though,
No,
because I'm up on
not
stage getting
sure.
Santa. But yeah, it is.
Was it a thrill?
It is an experience. Let me just say that. It's a 4-speed stick, so that means you got 4 speeds.
Were you sitting there saying, thank you, Dad, thank you?
I was not mad at him that day. The amazing thing is how fast you go just in first gear.
Oh.
It's not like a regular car that goes 100, 110 miles an hour. This car, Brad was telling me, you go 230 miles an hour. So you can hit 50 in first gear. You get 100 in second gear. So we're not going that fast. So, but it is interesting to drive. It is loud. The thing you'll find out about this car is it is literally just a car seat. It's all metal, the rest of the car inside. No other seats, no other leg room. It's all pure metal. There's roll bars because Brad told me, he goes, Mayor, this car has to sustain a crash at 230 miles an hour, and I have to live in it.
Yeah.
So there's roll bars everywhere, but it is just one seat. The seat does not move. It's set to Brad's height. Unfortunately, Brad's about 5 inches taller than me,
Well, yeah.
so my toes are really stretching and push that clutch. But it's all set. And the other thing that's amazing is no speedometer.
So,
You go by RPMs. If you're in first gear, you hit up to about 5,000 RPM. You want to shift down to second gear, you're up to 5,000 RPM, you go to third. It's all RPMs. It's electronic, but there's a temperature gauge, a pressure gauge, RPM gauge. That's about it. There's no speedometer. So now, obviously, they're not street legal because they have no headlights, no taillights, no speedometer. There is no glass on the driver's side, netting for protection. There's glass on the passenger side, but they can pop that in and out. And the doors don't open. You have to squeeze through it.
No problem there for
yeah,
you.
well, it still took a little bit. I'm getting a little bit older, so the body don't move. But it is really an amazing car. It's a Ford Mustang, but the stick shift is like any other Ford Mustang stick shift. Right there on the floor, no different. And
So if you could drive that vehicle,
yes,
you'd be
you
able
got
to.
the clutch, you got the brake, you got the gas.
Well, I hear NASCAR is a very popular sport.
No question.
Almost number one.
It is number one. It has got the most fans in America. 1 out of 3 adult males are NASCAR fans. That's over 75 million people. More than, I always thought football. NASCAR is more popular than football. They call it the king sport in the South, especially the South is popular. And what happened all that, Sue, was, we did the Bahamas Bowl.
Right.
Huge success for the village. I mean, those fueling stations in Elk Grove because that generated
I can't tell you the
100,000.
number of times I'm home with the TV on and all of a sudden I'll see these, and then it says Makers Wanted Elk Grove, and it's kind of a moment when you
Different
think,
commercials.
It's Elk Grove.
Yep, we have different commercials to do. So we did the Bahamas Bowl. That went well. Great exposure, great worked out. Then we sponsored the Olympic teams. We sponsored the Olympic track and field, Olympic wrestling, Olympic triathlon last year in Tokyo. So, I'm always thinking something new. So back in February, Craig Jr., my son, who does watch a little NASCAR, he was, I guess, watching Daytona 500, which NASCAR is unique. Football has a Super Bowl at the end of the year. College football has a bowl game at the end of the year. NASCAR is the one sport, they have their major championship race to start the season. That's the Daytona 500. That's NASCAR's Super Bowl, basically. And so he had watched it and he said, Dad, if you're looking for sponsoring something, he goes, why not sponsor a NASCAR race car?
So this was your son's.
This was Craig
given-
Jr.'s idea.
Ah.
And I said to him, I said, what do you mean? He goes, I said, you spend tens of millions to sponsor a car. He goes, no, that's for the season. You can sponsor one car in one race if you want to. I look at him and go, how do you know that? Dad, it's called internet. I've checked things out.
Yeah.
I said, you know what, let me figure this out. So I didn't tell anybody in staff. I never told staff, never told the board yet. So I started with Pat Dahl, who runs Banner, who did all of our commercials and other advertising. So I talked to Pat and he said, Craig, we've done that before. I said, what? He goes, we helped put together a sponsorship for AAA on a race car. He goes, so it can be done. He's right. So he said, okay, now this is February. So I said, well, Pat, let's start looking into this. So he started looking, and about May, the problem we had was everything we come up with, the race would either be like in Charlottesville, Carolina, or in Daytona Beach, Florida, or in Texas. Nothing was up here. And I figured, the Olympics were in Tokyo, the bowl game in the Bahamas. If we're going to do something, I want it to be our local people can almost reach out and touch it. So we kind of started backing down. Well, then Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago announces in the summer, hey, we're going to have a NASCAR race here in Chicago.
And then
I was probably dialing at the same time Pat was dialing. We're calling each other at the exact moment.
it was
and said,
meant to be.
Bingo, here we go. So we started negotiating in July. And at that point, I reached out to the board members and staff, told my idea, and they go, as cockamamie as you are, Craig, this one actually makes more sense the way the Bahamas Bowl did, because it's right here in Chicago. And so we put together a package. There's 3 teams, I wouldn't say bidding for us, but we're hoping to get us to sponsor them. And so they were playing with the dollar amounts to us and all that, getting better for us. Same thing here with the Bahamas Bowl. We had the New Mexico Bowl, the Hawaiian Bowl, and the Bahamas all cutting, because they want us on there. And it made sense, Sue, because when I was at the Bahama Bowl game, the head of tourism for the whole Bahamian country, the Bahamian people, met me on the field and said, Mayor, I want to thank you. I said, well, why? He goes, for your sponsorship. I said, I'm confused. I should thank you. He goes, no, you don't realize how much publicity we got from you sponsoring us. We were never in USA Today before for a game. We were never on Forbes magazine for the game.
So that
You
really
got-
surprised you.
It helped them.
Yeah.
So what happened is these race teams started thinking, they knew about us too,
Yeah.
trust me. And that's one thing nice
Word's
about our
out.
sponsorship. Yes, they know who Elk Grove is. They know we're a first-class community. They know that. So these teams did their homework. And Pat was saying these teams were talking to him as much as he was talking to them because they knew it was going to be a big splash with the announcement, and that's good for the team. So we started going back and forth, started narrowing down, and what happened was we finally got down to Brad Keselowski and the RFK team. And the reason we wanted Brad so much was Brad not only is a race car driver, he won the Cup. He's one of the top drivers out there. He also owns Keselowski Advanced Manufacturing.
Yeah.
So he's a manufacturer. He's got his company there in North Carolina. He knows all about it. And we said, what a better marriage than having the race car driver. He's one of the best. We're the best. He's in manufacturing. We're manufacturing. What a perfect marriage. And I tell you, that's why we held off until we did our Manufacturing Expo Day in October. Held off making the announcement because we wanted to tie it all together. And Brad and I went down to the manufacturing lab at the high school. And we walk in, he's rattling off every machine that they practice on, every machine they use. He goes, oh, that's a house machine. That's actually the number stage 3 one they have. This one came out about 5 years ago. It's good because of the quickness, but it's a little slow, so they made a stage 4 one. He knew it all by heart.
See?
Just walking in. This guy knows business.
What he's talking.
And it's been perfect. We got phenomenal coverage with the announcement. Every
I
channel.
heard you on the radio, in the newspaper, and everything.
2579,
Yeah,
GN, WBBM, both covered it. All the papers, Tribune, Herald, Sun-Times,
That's the
Journal.
kind of exposure you're looking
And it was picked up on the Facebook. It was picked up on,
for.
Twitter. It was on Twitter. I was thinking of what's called just by the
Yes,
Twitter,
right.
Musk. So it was on Twitter. It's on everything. It was on everything in the world. Because remember, the owners of the race team are some of the biggest companies in the world. They put on all the websites. And so it went out to hundreds of thousands of people like that. Exactly what we wanted. So the beauty of this was, one, the race is on July 2nd. We have our big concert on July 4th every year, so the car will be out there for that. They're great. They said, Mayor, you want a car? And I'm going, excuse me? You want a race car?
Oh.
I said, what? He goes, do you want a race car? I said, well, who wouldn't? He goes, you got one. They gave us one of the race cars that we keep in town. We can drive. We can showcase. We can do whatever we want with it for the next year and a half because it's a 2-year contract. We have a 3rd-year option because the race is 3 years in Chicago. So we've got that.
That's a big attraction.
Oh, we're going to have it at so many events, like the tree lighting.
Sure.
So it really gave us a chance to market this like nothing tomorrow. And it may go to places outside Elk Grove. You may have a trailer, get it out to other events all around the area to talk about Elk Grove. Makers want it. It's a win-win thing. So
the excitement rolling off of you.
And the race is coming up. And everyone in Elk Grove can get in their car and drive to the race. It's a half-hour away in Chicago, right by Buckingham Fountain. No excuse, not like going to the Bahamas, not like going to Tokyo.
Don't need a
You can
ticket.
go out and watch our car race. And I'm waiting to see if Chicago sponsors a car. I'll give Mayor Lightfoot a call. I know a little bit now. I'll give Lori a call and say, want to make a little friendly wager?
Yeah.
See which car comes in first.
I
So
bet I could
we'll have
see
some
that.
fun with it. But
Yeah.
again, Sue, it's a way to showcase our community. Our community is doing so well. We're very proud of it. We do so much from community events like the tree lighting to our manufacturing location to our technology. We're just doing exceptional.
And this is a community that is giving back to the residents because, as a resident, thank you for those Visa gift cards. I mean, whose idea was that?
Well, what happened was in the summer, in June, I was watching the news one night and gas hit over $5 a gallon. And I know a lot of people are suffering. I mean, this inflation and the recession, all the things going on is not easy. So I reached out to staff and the board and said, hey, how about if maybe we give a gift card, a gas gift card, maybe give them from the gas station here in Elk Grove. And that way they'd use it here. Well, logistically, it was so difficult to do that Maggie, our deputy manager, came up with the idea, well, how about if we give out a Visa gift card, Mayor? Maybe
They
that's
use it
good.
for
They
whatever.
can use whatever they want. And I said, that's a great substitute. Let's do. So we put it all together. The board was all on board, and we came up with it. But remember this, Sue. This is not something we're giving you. This is your money coming back to you. I know you don't hear that from government very often, but this is your money going back. If we're doing well, and we're getting the benefits of the work we've done and all that, then why not give something back to the people. Matter of fact, on the 15th of November, I won't say what, but I think people will be happy when we announce our tax levy for next year, our property taxes. I think they're going to like what I announced that day. So we're doing well, and the people should do well also. And now this didn't go to the business park. This is for the residents. And our residents we're trying to do more and more to help, like the water bill rebates. That was
Yes,
only for the
there-
residents.
yeah.
Now, most of the money we get comes from the businesses. 85 cents of a dollar comes from, but we're giving back to the residents on that. As we're doing more work on their roads, we're doing more work on the sidewalks. We're trying to help residents get more and more. We talk a lot about the business park, and it's doing great. We should talk about it. We also talk about what we're doing for the residents, which is a lot.
And
Community
I
events
have
and
a
everything.
feel-good moment for you on that Visa $200 gift card. Ran into an old friend of mine who lives in the community, him and his wife. They said, you know what, we know other people could, they donated it to a local food pantry here in town.
Yes.
They felt that that would be better served by giving it, like passing it on.
And isn't that great?
It's wonderful.
And what I'm happy about is we try to encourage people. We put on their Shop Elk Grove.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do it. I go to Joe Shopping here, and
I never
just-
see you there.
I was just there. I go usually Tuesday mornings.
Oh,
about
okay, everybody,
9:30,
you know where to
9:30. Oh, I meet a lot of people there, which is fine. But every time, even this past Tuesday, which would have been what, November 1st, I was in there, and checking me out said, Mayor, we're still getting people using the card. We still got people using the card, Mayor. I said, that's great. So people are listening
was
to us.
wonderful.
They're using as much as they can in Elk Grove, with Shop Elk Grove. So the businesses get something out of it. The residents get something out of it. It's a win-win partnership.
Well, as long as you're talking money, I did hear your interview. I was listening to GN Radio when they said, and our next guest will be, and I said, well, I'm not getting out of the car until I hear this. And I remember the host did ask the question, have you received any pushback on the cost, the $400,000? And you said the return, you can't measure it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and you're right. When we first did the Bahamas Bowl, because it was something unique. We've never done something unique with sports like that before. We hear some people asking questions, talk back. Once Love Fueling Station came to Elk Grove and making us millions of dollars, that kind of died down. The Olympic teams, no one said a word. I mean, you sponsored All-American kids in All-American sports, went well. And on this one, no, we haven't. It's $400,000. But again, the return we
Yeah,
get on
that's
the
what you look
announcement, the coverage, all the way
Mm-hmm.
up to race day, we get that paid back 50 times over minimum, because you can't buy that kind of exposure. It would literally cost you millions of dollars, but we got it. I mean, we're on Channel 9 or Channel 2 twice on the Monday Night Renounce and 4 times Tuesday. WGN, I think we're on 5 times, and we're actually a week later they did another segment about it, a little more in depth on that. Like I said, WGN Radio was a week after the announcement. BB, I mean, you can't buy that kind
And by
of
the way,
exposure.
you're always a great interview. Not only here, but when I hear you,
I don't know.
you're very
I get
good.
a little used to it after a while. I get
Sure.
a little too comfortable sometimes. I'm saying, Craig, you shouldn't have said that.
You're
I
good
said,
at all the
"Well,
answers they throw at you.
Well, you got to think about it. But again, it's a way to promote Elk Grove. We are so proud of our community. It is doing so well. We want to keep it doing well. And you keep it doing well, just like the commercials you saw now. People said, Mayor, I saw us on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Yep, we got commercials on Monday Night Football. We're getting the word out there, different ways, unique ways, and we're doing it here.
Well, can you update us on the progress, what's happening at Arlington Heights Road and Higgins before we go?
Yes, Arlington Heights Road Higgins has moved along very well. They're finishing up the concrete work they can get done this year. There's issues with the concrete, so the west side of Arlington Heights Road, some of those sidewalks will not be done till next spring. We'll put gravel, maybe even some asphalt over it for the winter. But the road itself, the middle islands, all that will be done this year. The final asphalt will be put down. And probably 90%, 95% will be done this year. All the aprons are in the
Yeah.
businesses, and it'll be done. And the beauty of this is we'll now have left turn lanes all the way from Devon to the high school, anywhere along Arlington Heights Road. Because that was a dangerous thing. We had only 2 lanes. People would be stopping in one lane,
Yeah.
turn left. Accidents were happening,
Yes.
issues were happening. Remember, Arlington Heights Road is not a village road. It's a county road. They let us run this project, but the county put up almost $6 million. We put up about $1.5 million. And we got that money because we worked well with the county, especially during COVID. With the Forest Reserve shutting parts down, we partnered with them, provided manpower, and this was their way to pay us back. So we spent about $125,000 manpower during COVID with the Forest Reserve They're giving us $6 million back for a project we wanted for years, actually for decades. I think we did okay on that.
Yes.
Good return.
Good.
Just like our
We're looking
advertising,
good.
we do good here. But again, Sue, that's working with your fellow governments. By working together,
When you work
we
together, you
benefit,
get
they
things
benefit.
done.
It's a
Yeah.
win-win.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do here in Oak Grove, and that's part of the reason we're doing so well.
Well, we are doing very well. We are excited to be sure, looking forward to the tree lighting for as many people can come and have their picture taken with the NASCAR.
And Santa. If
Well,
you want
yeah,
Santa,
Santa.
Santa's there too.
Yeah, Santa.
So enjoy it all.
I have a feeling Santa couldn't squeeze through to sit
No,
in
we
the car
tried.
with you.
We talked about that, and we pretty quick we saw it's getting close to Christmas.
Yeah.
Santa gets the extra weight for seeing
Yeah.
the kids and delivering packages. So we thought it was best that Santa followed the race car
Be a
into
little
the
bit
tree
better.
lighting. Yeah.
Well, if you have any more free time where you're just, the mind is thinking, we're excited to hear what the next idea you come up with. I'm sure the wheels are always turning.
We always will do that. And again, I can't take 100% credit for the NASCAR.
Yeah. That was your
That was
son.
Junior. Craig Jr.
Yeah, I'm
came
sure
through on
he's
that
going to
one.
remind you of that.
Oh, I know he will, because he's already reminded, Dad, you going to buy me a ticket for the
Yeah.
race? Dad, you going to buy me a ticket for the
Oh,
race?
for sure.
So I'm sure I'll be buying some tickets for him, but we'll get it all worked out.
Well, it's always fun to have you on the program, Mayor, and thank you for all you do, and the trustees and all the returns you try to bring to us in so many ways, entertainment and monies that can be used to help during these times.
And it's working with everyone. It's working with the park district, with the library.
Yeah.
We work with all of our government
Community.
entities. We work together as partners because we're serving the same
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And the more we can do to make life better for the people of this community, the better off we are. And we all know people are going through some tough times now. And it's not going to get better for a while.
Yeah.
And so if we can help them make it a little bit better,
Yeah.
especially during the holiday season,
Sure.
it just makes sense. So we're excited about that.
Well, they know where to spend their evening the Friday after
The 25th of November,
Yeah.
4 o'clock, get out there, get something to eat and drink, and then 4:30 the band with New Colony 6, and then the
Oh,
tree
I'm
lighting,
excited to hear
the
that.
race car, Santa.
Couldn't be better.
Only in Elk Grove can you get all
Yeah.
that fun.
Thank
and
you, Mayor.
fireworks.
Oh, yes, and fireworks. Thank you, Mayor Johnson. We love it all. Thanks
And
for
thank
being
you,
here
Sue.
again. Well, everyone, we hope that you enjoyed today's program. And as always, we look forward to being with you next month here on In the Grove. Have a wonderful holiday season. Bye for now.